I read 9 books this month in February. Hey guys, long time no see. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jazz and I primarily create fashion and beauty content, but today I want to talk to you guys about some books I've been reading. I read 9 books this month in February. I just want to share those books and the ratings and reviews that I gave them. Also, look at my new phone case. She's so cute! My favorite reading app to use is Fable. This is my profile, Jazz Vaughn. I'm currently on a 212-day reading streak. I cannot wait till I get to 365 days. I definitely want to do something. I should get a little like book cake or something like that. But let's get into all the books that I read in February. So we're going to start with A Promise So Bold and Broken by Sophia St. Germain. This is the second book in the Compelling Fates saga series. I read the first one in January. Loved it so much, had to read the second one, and finished it so fast. If you don't know what this series is about, it's about this girl named Alessia. She is half fae and half human, and she's living in like a fae world right now, or continent. Her duty in life is to save those that were kind of discarded and thrown away like her, because if you are born half human, you are seen as lesser than, and because humans and faes are not supposed to interact, and so you just get kind of discarded and left behind. When she gets to this new continent, she works her way up and has money and is stable enough for herself. She starts to provide for others who are just like her. But she has a blood oath to the king, and whatever the king asks her to do, she has to do. She's compelled to do it. She gets put into a contest where she's basically competing to be like the president of the country, mayor of the town, whatever you want to call it. And it's a very high stakes situation. So there's a lot of drama. There's also a little triangle romance happening here, a little trio. It's not a super spicy book by any means, but I absolutely love this. And if that sounds interesting to you, definitely start the series. And I rated this book 5 stars. Next, we have The Holiday Switch, which is by Tiff Marcello. I started this book in November, but it just took me some time to finish. This book is basically about a Filipina girl who lives at home with her family. She's graduating college and she has a love for books. She works at their local gift shop, and basically their town is like a Hallmark movie type of town. It's like very Christmassy. It's like a cozy Christmas fiction book. She meets a boy, some things happen, and she needs to decide what she wants to do and how to still honor her family. Does she want to go to college and be a doctor, or does she want to follow her dreams and be a writer and work in like the literary space? If you like books that are about books, definitely check that one out. I personally don't, but I did love the Filipino heritage and cultural aspect of this book. I rated this book a 3.5. Next, we have The Evidence of the Affair by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This book is one of those books that's like Divine Rivals, where it's like writing letters back and forth, except this is not a fantasy. This is, I would say, contemporary fiction and maybe historical fiction. It does take time in a later period. I just really loved Taylor Jenkins Reid's writing. I loved the concept of the story and how it just all revolved around writing letters back and forth. I think you can take a big guess on what entails in this book, so I'm not going to give that to you, but it's a really nice short story, and I rated that book 3.75 stars. I personally just love, I think, longer books, but I have been trying to just read short books too, just to kind of like give myself a break from my like 400 long paged fantasy series, and also just to try out different styles of writing and different types of books. Next, I read 3 books from the Improbable Meet Cute series. First is Time Will Tell by Hannah Bonham Young. Next is Accidentally Yours by Christina Lauren, and third is Second Act Romance by Julie Soto. I thought the concept is super cute. I'm not sure how many books are in this series, but each one is by a different author. They're very short books. Obviously, they're all romances, and I would say they all have happy endings. Time Will Tell is about a time capsule that is found, and it connects her with a special person. I rated that book a 3.5. The next book is Accidentally Yours. I loved this one. 5 stars for me. I just loved how they met. It felt very realistic. It just felt like this could happen in real life. I loved the banter and the wittiness. This is sort of like these people live in the same apartment building and they are interacting with each other online but don't know that yet. And it's so cute. I love it. Last was second act romance, and this one I did not like. I rated it a 2.5 because it's for the theater kids, and I was not a theater kid, so I just feel like a lot of the references I could not get and I wasn't understanding. I think if you are a theater kid, you might like this book, but for me, it didn't really scratch the itch for me. Next, I've been wanting to start this series. I read Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Love, love, love this book. This is definitely a spicy romance, and this is about two characters, Ford Grant, who is a millionaire. So if you love like a millionaire, billionaire romance, definitely pick this one up. And then it's about his childhood friend, Rosie, and Ford Grant basically lives in their like vacation spot or like hometown. Rosie moves out and wants to live in the city. Having her big girl moment, something happens to Rosie at work. She ends up wanting to come back, and she runs into Ford Grant, and this is a Grumpy Sunshine. And this is my first Grumpy Sunshine romance, and I fell so hard for it. I actually loved it so much. I love how she wrote the characters. I love Grant. I love Ford. I keep calling him Grant, but I love just Ford's thinking, and I really, really love the spicy scenes. Like, they were so vivid, like I could see them, and it was very cute. If I didn't already say it, that book was 4.5. Next, I read Snowed In by Navessa Allen. This is definitely more of like I wouldn't say it's cozy, but it is a wintry romance, and there is a lot of time like indoors and talking about it being cold. So if you're into that, definitely pick this one up. I really love this book. This is a romance that just had so much depth to it. This is about two characters, Ella and Benjamin Kakoa. Benjamin is a football player, and Ella is somebody who's been living in the small town. She's an artist, and she has two dogs. So if you like reading anything, she also has two dogs. And this book talks about all different types of grief. It talks about CTE and things that happen to the brain trauma, anticipatory grief, which is something new that I learned. Hi. Hello. And they talk a lot about depression and mental health. And as somebody who is a mental health advocate, I just love how this was written. Like, this got 5 stars for me. It's also spicy, and oh my god, the audiobook, listening to Benjamin Kakoa, oh yeah, I was sweating. I was definitely sweating. The last book I read this month, this is Mocha, by the way. The last book I read this month is Phatnasma by Kaylee Smith. This is a paranormal fantasy, and I loved this book. This book is about Ophelia and her sister. Her mom owned a... Okay. I don't want to move you because you're so cute. Her mom was a necromancer. I believe she owned like a funeral home, and basically her mom suddenly dies and they are in more debt than they realized. So Ophelia, who feels like she's taken on the burden of her family, starts complaining to her sister. Her sister wants to make it right, and she basically runs away trying to make it right. Well, she ends up in this haunted house called Phatnasma. During this time, Phatnasma started it's almost like the Hunger Games, but in like the spiritual world. And they basically have to go through like the 7 circles of hell or something. And I feel like it's like the 7 deadly sins that they experience at each level. But the house kind of like haunts Ophelia in ways that she doesn't imagine, kind of shows you your like worst fears. And so she's competing with like some other characters, but she meets a spirit, and I'll let y'all read it from there. But I rated that book a 4.25. I think it was predictable. It still was very well written. I loved the romance. I loved the story. I feel like it's very different, not really something I've heard of before. I will be reading Enchantra because it is a duology. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed my little like book talk. I always had an interest in reading. I love reading, and I've recently just been all over BookTube, and I feel like I don't see enough Black women in these spaces, so I wanted to join. I also want to talk about Black authors and Black love stories and Black romantasies and fantasy books. So if you guys also have any book recs or any authors that you truly enjoy, send them my way. But I really enjoyed this and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Make sure you guys follow me on my other platforms, Instagram and TikTok, where I mainly post about fashion and beauty. I think I want to start using my YouTube platform to post about books because, I don't know, I feel like this is where I like to watch stuff about books, so maybe you guys will like it too. But love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.